Hi, my name is Joe Jackson. I'm a journalist, author, interviewer, and broadcaster. I'm also a lifelong Tom Jones fan. And to mark the release of his latest and arguably best album, Surrounded by Time, which sees him looking back on a life that has lasted 80 years, I've decided to do a trilogy of podcasts based on an interview we did in Dublin in 1991 on the morning after a concert Tom gave. At the time, his latest album was called Carrying a Torch, and it featured 4 songs written by Van the Man. I never learned what that meant exactly. Anyway, Van the Man Morrison. In this podcast, I'll focus on Tom's working relationship with Van and those 4 tracks they recorded for the album. The next podcast in this trilogy will pick up where this one ends. And by the way, if you want to access the full tapes for personal or professional use, say in a documentary, contact me via my website, joejacksoninterviewer.com. Either way, enjoy the podcast.
You working with Van. It was suggested to me that Cliff worked with him and said he's very dour and into himself. Mm-hmm. But when I saw the video, I mean, he looks blissful, and you look blissful doing the stuff. I mean, what was the experience on that level? Was it healthy? There was one question just before I go into the music on it. On the business level, Van publishes his own stuff, right? Mm-hmm. They're his own 4 songs.
Yeah.
Would he have come to you too and talked to you of things like publishing royalties, a deal he could give you? I mean, do you operate on that level too? Apart from telling us all that he saw you, loves your voice and all that, is there also a thing where you or Mark would say, sounds like good business? You know what I mean? Or do you work that way? Or do you have to?
No. It's the only time that would happen if somebody came to me with a song that wasn't published.
All right.
That's the only time anything with publishing would come into it.
Right.
You know,
so you could get publishing rights on it.
Because I do have a music publishing company.
Right.
You know, that Gordon started.
Right.
We started together. It was Gordon's idea. So if new songwriters come to me with songs that are unpublished songs, I say, would you want me to publish it?
Right. But you are a very aware business person, aren't you? Or you have become.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Which I don't think people should. There's too many people being precious and arty about rock and roll. Rock and roll is a big business, like movies.
Yeah.
And I think if you're not aware of that,
well, you have to have people on your, like my financial advisor.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime if I sign a contract with a record company, for instance, it's got to go through the fine print.
Yeah.
I don't do it; he does it. But it has to be done.
Right.
You're not going to say, "Well, look, I just want to make records. I don't care how much royalties I get." That's bullshit.
You end up being ripped off.
Yeah. You have to. I mean, if you're doing the job, get paid for it.
Yeah.
People are paying money to buy the record.
Oh, I know. You've got to get your percentage. Is Van like that? Because I know Van has kind of...
Yeah, Van is
aware of the...
publisher. Yeah, he's... But as far as I was concerned, with Van, that's all I wanted. Not all I wanted, because first of all, he said, well, look, the one song, Torch, that's the Carrying a Torch, that's the one he thought was right for me.
Right.
But then he played a lot of other stuff that he had recorded, and I finally got the full...
Had he recorded them? They're not on official albums?
Not yet.
Oh, right.
But they will be.
Oh, by him?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but when he was recording Torch, this is what he told me. He said it sounded to me like a Tom Jones song.
Right.
So he said, I think it would be...
And was it just him going straight to you? Because I know he hates a lot of the things involved with the business.
Yeah, well, what happened was I was getting... somebody told Mark and Chrysalis that Van Morrison would like to do something with me.
Right.
This was last year. And then I had a message in Wales. Somebody called my house in Wales and said, Van Morrison wants to talk to Tom. So... I mean, there's people always calling up saying so wants to talk to you, and most times it's a lot of bollocks. It's not the real person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then when we got to London in January, Mark said, "Do you want to follow up on the Van Morrison thing?" I mean, I said, "Yeah, find out what he wants. What does he just want to get together for a drink? Does he want to say hello? Because I haven't seen him for years. What is it that he doesn't want?"
Right.
So when I talked to him on the phone, he said, I have these songs.
Right.
I have this one song especially that I'd love to play for you.
Torch.
And he said, I said, fine. He says, when can I play it to you?
Something the other...
I said, tomorrow. What about tomorrow? He said, fine, what time? I said, about 12 o'clock. I'll be there. And that was it. Yeah. So he came around with John, the fellow that's with him.
Right.
With the tape.
Oh, right.
And played it.
There's one there.
But what I wanted from him,
sorry,
because I liked the treatment that he had done on it, and I wanted to have him involved in it, because with a songwriter like him, it's a very personal thing. I wouldn't want to take it away and have an arranger come in and have a producer come in and maybe do something with it that he wouldn't like.
Kill his sound and feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want that to happen.
You
know, and so I wanted him to be involved in it.
Oh, did he not offer it as a package?
No, he said, there they are.
Oh, I see.
You know, go and do what you want with it. He said, you use your own musicians if you want, your own producer, do it whenever you want to do it. And here it is.
You wanted the...
And I said, well, I like what's already been done.
Right.
Could we...
work together.
You know, the only difference would be my voice instead of his, basically.
Right. There's not feeling it anymore to me as a real Van Morrison celebration of song and singing. I mean, you certainly seem to running in at 7 minutes. I mean, you certainly seem to relish doing that kind of stuff. Did you? You know, where you can, you know, where he builds up the music. Something like maybe Jolson, working the music like you work a crowd.
Yeah.
I mean, was that particularly enjoyable or taxing or what?
No, it was very enjoyable.
Yeah.
And the recording of the 4 songs was great because it was live.
Right. Yeah.
You know, we went in there. It wasn't all that. When we put we put the drum track down, and when we put this down, and we do that. You know, we went in there as a rock and roll band. We rehearsed the one night.
Right.
And as soon as we did it, as soon as he realized that I knew the songs, because I only had them a few days, you know, so he asked me which ones I want. I said, could we get the 4 in there?
Right.
And he said, well, we'll try.
Right. In one session.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So we rehearsed, and when we rehearsed, he was so taken up with it. He said, let's record it now. You know, let's do it now. But we hadn't had a session booked. You know, we had to wait till the following day. So I said, fine. But he was ready there because he realized it was happening.
Well, you can see that in the video.
Right.
I mean, there's a great joy in his face.
So we went into the studio the following day, and we did the 4 songs.
Right.
You know, and it was a live session. So I said, when we were listening to the tracks back, I said, maybe we can, you know, bounce the voice from the one track to the other. And he said, I don't like doing that, do you? And I said, well, not really. And he said, well, then let's don't do it then.
All right.
He said, but if you're not satisfied, let's go and do it again.
Right.
But we'll all go and do it again.
Right, basic, let's keep basic.
Let's have the feel.
Yeah.
He wanted that, you know, which is like the way I started recording in the 60s.
I know, yeah.
And I didn't think we could do that anymore.
Right.
You know,
so it's back to roots in every way, isn't it?
Yeah, really.
Well, I've got to get back to base. It's even the lyric in the song. Yeah. I got to pick you up on one line in it, because I hate anybody lying to me in interviews. That is about getting high at a party. The last time I asked you, you said your only experience of drugs was a pill at the NME gig, and now I'm reading Amyl Nitrate.
No. Oh yes, yes. By mistake.
You quite there.
No, quite true. I completely forgot about that. But that was a mistake, you know. I mean, I wasn't taking it.
All right.
I thought it was somebody had an inhaler.
Yeah, it was for a cold.
And I had a cold. Yeah, I thought it was Vic. Vic
says V-I-C-K on it.
It was in there.
Oh,
yeah, they had it in there. It was in a Vic inhaler.
Oh, right.
But it wasn't Vic inside it. I stuck it up my nose. Fuck me, I thought it was like...
All right.
You know.
Right, okay. I just had to clear that.
Oh, yeah, no, that was an accident. But, no, high at the party, meaning, for me...
Emotionally.
Oh, booze.
Oh, booze, yeah.
You know, having a drink, you can get high on... It doesn't have to be drug.
Yeah. Well, you can get high on other things, too, and sing
it. Well, what it means, it doesn't really mean that...
you were out of it.
It's the party meaning... show business itself.
All right.
You know what I mean? When you first come into it, you know, that's what the song is all about.
Right.
You know, when I was high at the party, everything looked good.
Right.
You know, when everything was like happening and it was all, but I was seeing through rose-colored glasses.
Right. Well, that's what you were talking about earlier too. That something's awfully wrong. If this is success, it's got to be something else. Is there a suggestion though? I know you do the fingers up, and for Van that just means to God. You know what I mean? Is that part of it for you too?
Oh yeah, it's.
Like you do in the video, and you look at Van and he kind of smiles. Yeah. Is that?
That's what I just came.
Did it?
To me, yeah. That's.
Would you be deeply religious as he is reported today?
I think he's always trying to find something.
Searching.
He's searching.
Yeah.
You know, so I think religion for him is part of that. It's trying to find the truth.
Yeah.
Trying to see the light.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and that's it. As far as my religious thing goes, is that, I believe in God, I believe in Jesus, I'm a Christian.
Right, right.
And I pray to God.
Right.
I don't go to church.
Right.
Because I don't feel that...
Right. But you also don't, Van feels the need to sing about it. To project songs, to write songs, and to, as part of, I agree with you, that is his quest for his roots, his identity, and Celtic roots, religious roots, whatever it is, Van has that craving.
Right.
Which he seems not to have satisfied. I wouldn't imagine you as being driven by the same craving.
No. If I was, I would be a songwriter.
Right.
I would try and write about
it. To discharge it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Right.
I'm because there are people that do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but I knew what Van Morrison was writing about.
Right.
I knew it.
So you could feel it.
I could feel it.
Yeah.
So I felt I could perform it. I could take it and make it my own, make it sound like me, saying it.
Yeah, autobiographical singer.
Yeah, it's like, that's what I look for in songs, though.
Sure.
I think if I was a songwriter, I would write a song like that.
Right. Tom, what time do you have to go at? Because I know we got in a bit late.
Yeah.
What'd you say, you have to leave here at 4, so you want to get wrapping up about 10 to?
Yeah.
About 10 to 4?
Yeah.
So we've got another 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Is that all right with you?
Yeah.
Enjoying this?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure this is done on tape. Listening to strange boat, right? And again, this criticism that people say you overproject. And I saw Vox magazine review the album and says the singer singing to the deaf women down the back of the hall. They sing like beating your chest all the time. Now, I think they should listen to that if they want that argument fucked out the window.
That's right.
You know what I mean? It's a strange song, though. Lyrically, could you hook into that, or did you have to have?
Yeah, well, it's what the song means, as far as I know, because I haven't talked to the writer. The Waterboys did it. So but the message that I'm getting from it is that it's life. It's we're in it, and it's a strange boat.
Yeah.
We're walking on thin ice.
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing.
Right.
We're climbing up the strangest ladder that was never climbed before.
But you wouldn't feel a need to phone them up or anything.
No, I get the message. I read into it what I want to read into it, what I feel, and I try to project it in that way. And that was it. I heard the song and I thought, I could sing that.
You see, now you're really going to say it again there, Tom. You said it on TV. I could rip the fucking bollocks or something out of that. Now you stop. But it's not what you say.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I say.
Why do you stop?
Well, because
you can't say that in telly.
You can't say it. But I have to watch my language sometimes, because they say that somebody put one of the things, Tom Bloody Jones.
All right.
Because I say bloody all the time.
Yeah.
Bloody this, bloody that. So Tom Bloody Jones, they call me, right?
Right.
But that's it. I rip the fucking bollocks out of it, and that's what I try to do.
Right.
I want to tear at emotions.
Right.
I don't want to slide into anything.
Yeah. But I saw one critic saying that where Van would wrap his tongue languorously around this lyric, Tom goes at a full force, maybe he shouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that?
No, not for me. I do it the way I see it.
Right.
If it's not, that's why some of the stuff that I recorded that didn't make it just didn't click.
Right.
Because of those reasons. Maybe trying to make too much out of something that wasn't there to start with that I thought was.
Right.
And then when I it's not believable.
Right. Well, now,
so the more powerful the song is, the more believable it is from me.
Hi, Joe Jackson here again. I thank you for listening to this edition of the Joe Jackson Interviews podcast. And don't forget, if you want to access the full tapes of that interview and many others, you can contact me via my website, joejacksoninterviewer.com.